tape right now because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
So here's Joe Rogan talking about what they're doing in Gaza right now, where they have people, so they're starving them. And so then they offer them aid, and then they shoot them when they come for the aid. Here's Joe Rogan talking about it.
Technology.
That whole thing where kicking people out of Palestine is such an inconvenient story today. When people are talking about Israel and Palestine and the conflict, they do not like talking about what happened in 1948.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Like I think for us to reach some kind of peace, which is really hard to talk about when you see what's happening in Gaza, even yesterday,
the people that were waiting for food got bombed.
Yeah,
it's insane, and no one wants to talk about it.
Right, but if you
do talk about it, you're anti-Semitic, which is so strange. Like I don't know how they wrangled that.
Well, it's been hard for me in tech because like probably the only prominent Palestinian in tech that is talking about it, and so that's.
Do you get pushback?
Oh, of course.
Like, what do people say to you?
Anti-Semitic.
How is it anti-Semitic?
I criticize the state of Israel. Our position, every moderate Palestinian that I know, their position is like two-state solution. We need the emergence of the state of Palestine. And that's the best way to ending the occupation is the best way to guarantee peace and security even for Israelis.
So according to Palestinian Action has now been prescribed by the UK government, and expressing support for them is a criminal offense. This is from the Metropolitan Police in the UK. This includes chanting, wearing clothing, or displaying articles such as flags, signs, or logos. This is real. So would Joe Rogan have to go to prison if he said that in the UK? Read this statement. It's more chilling than anything imagined by Orwell, whom British elites never stop praising as if they don't represent everything he warned us about. It's hard to believe that a law enforcement of a major Western democracy published this as a law. It said, update on policing in London following prescription of Palestinian Action. Palestine Action has now been prescribed by the UK government, and expressing support for them is a criminal offense. Update on policing in London following prescription of Palestine Action. Palestine Action has now been prescribed by the UK government, and expressing support for them is criminal. There are a number of events taking place in London this weekend, and anyone attending should be aware that officers policing these will act where criminal offenses, including those related to support of proscribed groups or organizations, are committed. Under the Terrorism Act of 2000, the Home Secretary may proscribe an organization if they believe it is concerned in terrorism and it is proportionate to do so. So they're saying that this group called Palestine Action, they're terrorists. Mm-hmm. And if you support them, that's a crime. If you show any support for them, you have a flag or a speech, anything. Proscription makes it a criminal offense to invite or express support for a proscribed organization through chanting, wearing clothing, or displaying articles such as flags, signs, or logos. It is a criminal offense to belong or profess to belong to a proscribed organization in the UK or overseas, invite support for the proscribed organization, or express an opinion or belief that is supportive of the proscribed organization. So that proscribed means terrorists. Arrange, manage, or assist in arranging or managing a meeting in the knowledge that the meeting is to support or further the activities of a proscribed organization. So all they have to do is say you're a terrorist organization. I've been saying this forever. All they have to do is say you're a terrorist and you have no rights. And that's what they're doing. So they're saying proscribed, meaning they're a terrorist organization. And so anything you do, anything you do is a criminal, is a crime, and you're a criminal. Wearing clothing or carrying a display articles in public such as a way or in such circumstance to arouse reasonable suspicion that the individual is a member or supporter of the organization. That's all you have to do. Publish an image of an item of clothing or other article, such as a flag or a logo, in the same circumstances. If you have any concerns during an event, speak to a police officer or event steward. If you see material supporting terrorism online, report it. You can also report suspicion. So, Glenn Guerrero says, completely repressive authoritarian tyranny by the UK. As bad as, if not worse than anything, J.D. Vance correctly condemned Europe and the UK for doing regarding attacks on free expression. An endless erosion of basic liberty in the West to shield Israel. This is real. And guess what? But you can hang out with an actual terrorist. This guy's the head of Syria now. This guy was the head of Al-Qaeda in Syria. Now, but also, by the way, certainly not installed by Israel. He wasn't secretly working with Israel, even though Al-Qaeda and ISIS never attack Israel. Isn't that interesting? There was a $10 million warrant by the United States for this guy's arrest. But now, he's our good buddy. UK terrorism designations very confusing. This is the same day the former secretary's visit to Syria. So there it is. So this guy, no, he's not a terrorist. But somebody standing up for Palestine is a terrorist. Isn't that interesting? And who says they're a terrorist? The government. The government says he's not, even though they're slaughtering Christians in Syria, even though he's the head of Al-Qaeda in Syria. So I wonder if Joe Rogan would have to go to prison. We'll see. All right, over to Steph.
I wonder if he would travel to the UK, right? Like, I mean, oof. Boy, what happened to the UK? Wow. Depressing. That's a depressing story. What they have done for farm work, they will do for white-collar work as they replace farm workers with AI post-deportations. Where IT and other white-collar jobs are concerned, it's cheaper to bring in those from India and China, whose their government has already spent money to train them, than to invest in Americans to take those jobs. They hold those H-1Bs over their heads, saying, you try to unionize, say goodbye. Roger, you're back. Let's see. AI is a servant of the boss class. Therefore, there's only one way this can stop. When we overthrow the bosses, seize their companies, and convert them into workers' co-ops. Force the government to invest in worker co-ops or pool our money together to form worker co-ops. Then we force AI to serve our needs if we cannot stop it. We'll just have to take a position only when we create a new position for the human. Thank you, Roger Meadows. Much appreciated. When we have 40 states that become CBI for amendment states, then run CBI amendments that force our state legislature to call for an Article 5 constitutional convention of the states, they'd force Congress to either propose an amendment to the states or allow for the convention to happen that allowed for a national citizen ballot initiative amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Roger, thank you very much. Back to Mr. Jim.